What's up, everybody? I am back in with some more Novus Inceptio. Wanting to show off a little bit of the building tools. I had kind of talked about it before in some of the other videos, but I thought I'd really quickly show, spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes on kind of the process and how it is. At first I thought I'd do some of this exploring on my own because I don't want to look like a fool, but I thought, what the hell? Might as well just do it. I'm not much of a builder, so I'll just start off with that and actually looking at some of this here. I'm not so sure that I'm happy with what I've made. And actually, these I'd like to be lower. I don't know if I can get them lower. I'm going to go ahead and remove these. And once you sort of place the blueprint down of what you want, you can go back and remove parts. I'll obviously need to fix some of that so that it's not off the ground. But I actually had already put this piece together. Interestingly enough, actually, I had started building back here, and for some reason this is what generated. But the process, once you lay out a general template of what you want, you can see it here in blue. This is not actually built, but it's showing you what you've done. To go in, you can hit the E for manufacture. It's going to bring up this where we need some logs and rope to actually tie these together. And I'll show you right away. I don't have much in the way of tools to build with. You can see down here, these are all of the blueprints that I have, which is not very much. With time, you find more blueprints and you can build more. There's actually some very cool looking things out there. If you look at some of the in-game pictures and maybe some other videos on YouTube. But this is the start of what I'd made. Mentioned I didn't really like those posts, so I was curious if I can actually come back here and make it go deeper into the ground. One thing that's nice, it does snap to grid, so I'm supposed to be able to actually move the object up and down. I ran into this problem before. It won't let me actually go into the ground. I don't know why. I didn't want to switch. Alright. Let's try it from another angle. Well, the controls are still a little hard to sort of get used to. I'm not sure why it's not showing me a grid anymore. So let's just actually get out of the build there. I'm going to remove this over here. Accident. Don't actually want that. I love the views. Anyways, I could stop and stare at the scenery all day. I'm just going to go ahead through the building process. I think I showed you before you need logs in this process. To get that, it's pretty straightforward. You need an axe. And you can see I cut down one of the trees here. For some reason, I cut it down last time I was here. It's not letting me actually gain any logs from it now. But back here, I'll just pick out another tree. Actually, here is this one I cut down too. Yeah, I cut down this earlier. You can see I can actually hack it up, but I need my axe equipped. I'll do that. Logs, one thing I would say is maybe trying to build close to some place of trees. Logs weigh quite a bit. You're going to see my capacity. Yeah, I'm automatically encumbered. The nice thing currently, your A2A inventory, even though it says you go over capacity, you can actually still go over capacity, and it's not going to hurt you. I believe I can get 5 logs to go around, so I'm going to do that. There's some nicer plans, some nicer blueprints. Mine are pretty much just going to look like a log hut, but one thing I did make was a saw to help make some planks if I ever find more blueprints to actually use the planks. I have one now for flooring, but that's it. Yeah, there's the 5 of those, and I am encumbered. You can see I can't move. So I'm going to quickly open up my A2A inventory and actually move over. There we go. Now I should be able to walk around pretty easily. Alright, so now we're back over here. I need some rope. So I picked some leaves earlier. A very easy way to get what you need for ropes. Low quality, but I'm not here necessarily to make anything super special. So I believe I need 4 fiber to make 1 rope. I'm actually going to go ahead and make as many as I can. I'm going to try to do some of these others as well. I think I actually already showed some of the farming. Maybe do that in another video. So there's a certain grind to it. I mean, you have to go... It sounds silly to say grind. Makes me feel like we're way too easily accommodated now in most MMOs. And you do have to go pick out all the leaves. You have to put together the subcomponents. I actually don't disagree with that. Some people would call it a grind. I think the thing that stands out that makes it not so bad for me is you can actually affect quality based on what you get. It'd be one thing if everything was the same and there's no variation, but you actually can have a little bit difference in quality. So now that I made the fiber, I'm just going to make all the thread that I can. And I do think they're actually working on a way to bulk produce things. That you don't have to sit here and constantly do this. Kind of similar to how they did with the harvesting of leaves and branches and things. It's telling me I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. I will fix that in a minute, actually. Alright, we've made some of our thread. Now I can make the rope. That's all I'm going to get out of that. So, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to get this on here. I'm going to carry my water over here because it's pretty heavy. There we go. Alright. So now I should be able to manufacture. So we'll come here. There we go. I have my rope. And I can use 2 logs to get my hammer. Alright. Now we'll see if this one pops up as created. Interesting. It didn't. Why? Ah, finish. I don't like this part. Alright. There you go. So it worked that time. Go ahead real quickly while I have the components. Alright, so that's sort of the basics of building. I got a structure starting. I'm kind of wondering if I should use this flooring currently. I think I can actually tear that down. put in different flooring if I wanted, but again, I'm not trying to build anything fancy. So, just wish. Thinking of trying to find ways to build some sort of not sure why this is doing this. This usually isn't this buggy. You can see it's getting hung up, and I'm not sure why. Strange. It's not showing me the grid either, so actually maybe move off the structure, see if that has any difference to play here. There we go. That's odd. So being on the structure was creating that problem. It's starting to let me move things under. So there has to be a positioning issue then. Wish I could make it go a little bit deeper. So this is the general idea. It's a very, very early system, obviously, but I think it's pretty interesting, and I think it has a lot of potential. Someday I'm going to figure out how to actually make steps. Anyways, I've kind of gone as far as I want to as far as time. You get the idea. Hopefully next time around I'll have somewhat of a more solid structure built, and I'll start moving on to sort of the farming part of this. But anyways, you know, this is again a game that I really would recommend checking out. I enjoy it quite a bit. It has its kinks, but you know, overall I'm not at all disappointed with what I've seen so far. And as long as things keep getting developed, I mean, it will, I think, turn into a very fun game. So I'm not sure why it's not letting me remove this. Alright, well, for me that is all for tonight. I just again wanted to really quickly show you some of the very basics of building, and hopefully as I learn more blueprints I'll be able to show a lot more wonderful creations, and maybe impress you more than I have tonight. But it's a system, again, very early in development that, quite frankly, is still fairly impressive given the time frame and timeline. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed watching. I'll be posting more as I go along. Check out some of my other videos. If you like the game, check it out. The info will be in the text box of the video. And again, it's Novus Inceptio. It is on Steam, so you can also search there. Follow them on Twitter. Pretty nice group. So, all right. I hope y'all have a good night.